When you look online, there's no shortage of videos on the 872 struggles of an ENFP. Why it's so hard to be an ENFP. Or you got that dude who's always angry, ranting about all the personality types, telling you how evil you are. It's not really how I like to roll here at Dreams Around the World. We tend to look at why we are awesome and how we can become more awesome. And in this video, we're going to look at 3 ENFP personality traits that most people envy, although they're never going to actually admit it to you. The first one is one I hear ENFPs talk about all the time, about how they're so embarrassed because they went out and they just kept talking and they said things and they're not sure if it was polite, and that is, we speak our minds and we don't have a filter. Now, of course, there can be some consequences to this. I've suffered those myself. There should be times where we learn to maybe filter a little bit better. But you know what? Think about most people. Imagine what it feels like to not speak your mind. What's going on in your head? It means that you're driven by fear, by what do people think of me? What is my status? What is gonna happen to my job? Like, imagine being one of those news anchor people or a journalist these days who basically can't say anything without getting in trouble. And they have to follow the line of whatever their company represents. If they work for Fox, they believe this. And if they work for CNN, they believe this. Like, how much would that suck? I don't care how much you could pay me. I would never work for one of those companies. So whether you know it or not, the ability to speak your mind and not really care as much about what people think, at least not until the next morning, something really valuable, and I can guarantee people envy it. Another ENFP trait that I know people envy is that we are driven by our internal values. Our second function, if you haven't watched my video on the 4 ENFP functions and how they work together and we can use them to create an amazing life, watch that video. I'll have a card pop up for it. Our second function is introverted feeling. And that is all about using our own feelings and internal judgments, basically what's right and wrong for us, to make decisions. And people are envious of that. I mean, that's a pretty positive trait. Most people are being pushed around by the world, right? What they're being told is right by their parents, like you should get this kind of job, or what their bosses tell them is right. Go drive this kind of car, do this sort of thing. And to be someone who says, hey, I appreciate this whole thing you guys have going on with the student debt and the 30-year career and the BMW 3 Series and then maybe 5 Series before I retire. I get it, but I'm gonna go see the world or start my own business or pursue something artistic that really makes me happy. People are so jealous of our ability to do that. Never underestimate what a gift this personality trait is. Our ability to say, hey, that might be what most people are doing, but it's not right for me, and I'm gonna go do this thing. That is extremely valuable, because if you follow that, and by the way, with these traits, not every ENFP follows these or has developed these traits yet. So these are possible traits that we have a lot of access to if you develop yourself and develop the traits. Having that ability to know what's right and wrong for you is almost a guarantee of happiness if you follow that, right? Because you have a good sense of what will make you happy, what will be right or wrong for you. And then you can follow that and create the life that will actually make you happier. I don't know if it's the trait I'm most grateful for, but it's definitely one of them that allowed me to step outside of maybe the path most people I knew were taking and take my own path, and pretty darn happy with it. And the third ENFP personality trait that people probably envy but are never going to tell you is that we jump into things. Now, some people might call us impulsive. They might say we don't think things through. They might say we make big life decisions after 3 bottles of wine. They might want to judge and criticize, as all great minds have been criticized in the past. But what they don't tell you is, well, they're sitting there criticizing you for jumping into a decision after a week or starting a new relationship just because your heart told you it was right. They've been sitting there pondering some big life change for 18 weeks. And if you were to go into their bedroom, you'd see a wall of pros and cons lists, like some creepy scene out of Homeland. And if I had to decide on the right approach for myself, I prefer to jump into things, learn quickly, figure things out, develop yourself quicker. That's a pretty good path to me. And you know what's hidden in that too, that ability to jump into things, the unspoken knowledge that you believe in yourself. Whether or not you feel like you're a confident person, you would not jump into situations that you weren't sure about if you did not believe in your own ability to handle the situations. And that is such a superpower. The ability to jump into something and just know that, hey, I'm not gonna know all the details. I'm not gonna be able to figure everything out necessarily right away. It's definitely not in advance, but I trust myself to be able to handle the situation once I'm there. That is an incredible superpower, an incredible ENFP strength, a great one to end on as well. If you're feeling pumped up about being an ENFP right now, I'm going to suggest a way to take it even up a level, which is a free training I have for ENFPs, starting out with my perhaps now infamous ENFP pep talk. You can get that at dreamsaroundtheworld.com/ENFP training. I'll include a link in the description below and in a card pop up here as well. Check out that training. It provides more of my hopefully inspiring, insightful view of our personality type. If you're new to the channel, I publish new videos each and every week, primarily for ENFPs, helping us become the best version of ourselves while creating the most awesome life possible for us and the people we love, because it's not that fun if you got to do it alone, right? Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next video soon.